each other.
Jay said it's like New York been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings.
Right.
And
Prodigy took offense to that. He really took offense to that.
Because y'all responded.
Yeah, but we didn't respond yet.
No, I'm saying he responded to the crushing of the buildings.
Yeah,
you guys
we did.
Yeah, you guys did.
LA.
I mean, I think we was the only
one.
That, you know,
I can tell you from Miami, we saw only you guys respond to that.
That's right. You got a Jay-Z Mobb Deep. How did that happen? Like,
because I believe, you know, look, not I believe it. This is true. Jay-Z loved Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? Like he was, I believe he was a Prodigy fan, like for sure. Right? He used P sample, Illuminati with my mind, soul, and my body.
That's right.
He respected P. He respected P. Looked at him. He looked as a lyricist, as a top lyricist. So when he found out that Prodigy said something about him not to his liking, you know what I'm saying, in a magazine, you know, and he's competitive.
Sometimes the fans take beef more serious than the artists themselves. And that's exactly what Havoc says cost Mobb Deep future opportunities with Jay-Z and Rockefeller. Looking back, it's crazy how much weight the fans put on rap beef, because Havoc just kept it 100 on Drink Champs. He admitted that the Jay-Z situation got bigger in the fans' minds than it ever did behind the scenes. For Jay-Z and Mobb Deep, it started as a competition, bar for bar, line for line. But the fans, they turned it into a war. And once that energy spread, it followed Mobb Deep everywhere. See, Havoc made it clear, Jay-Z actually respected Prodigy. He sampled him, studied him, even viewed him as a top lyricist. But when that magazine moment happened and Prodigy threw his shot, Jay-Z responded the way Jay-Z always does, on the biggest stage possible, the Summer Jam screen. That moment created a perception shift. From then on, the streets saw it as Jay-Z versus Mobb Deep. And even if Havoc and Jay-Z didn't treat it like a lifelong beef, the fans did. And here's where it got tricky. Labels, promoters, and even Rockefeller itself paid attention to that perception. If the fans viewed it as a real problem, then doing business together became complicated. That's deals not getting done, collaborations not happening, tours that could have been even bigger being cut short, because the energy wasn't neutral anymore. When fans pick sides, the money follows. And Havoc admits that Mobb Deep got caught on the losing end of that. And that makes you wonder, how many other crews in hip-hop history lost out on business not because of the beef itself, but because of how the fans reacted? Now I'm about to play this clip for y'all, but before I do, I just need y'all to like, leave y'all thoughts down below in the comment section, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
How did you feel when the Jay-Z thing happened? Like
the Nas Jay-Z?
No, the Mobb Deep. The Mobb Deep Jay-Z. And how did this happen? Because I didn't see this.
Yeah.
I didn't see this.
Right.
That was before the Nas joint, right?
Yeah.
But almost at the same time. Because,
I mean, you know, it was an era. It was that whole
But that was
period.
what I'm saying. But if we put it in order, it's
I think the Mobb Deep shit happened first, and
so
then
what happened? Because Jay said,
is
this true?
People are pointing at each other.
Jay said it's like New York been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings.
Right.
And
Prodigy took offense to that. He really took offense to that.
Because y'all responded.
Yeah, but we didn't respond yet.
No, I'm saying he responded to the crushing of the buildings.
Yeah,
you guys
we did.
Yeah, you guys did.
I
mean, I think we was the only motherfuckers that, you know.
I can tell you from Miami, we saw only you guys respond to that.
That's right. You can make us up. How did they get a Jay-Z Mobb Deep? How did that happen? Like,
because I believe, you know, look, not I believe it. This is true. Jay-Z loved Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? Like he was, I believe he was a Prodigy fan, like for sure. Right? He used P sample, Illuminati with my mind, soul, and my body.
That's right.
He respected P. He respected P. Looked at him. He looked as a lyricist, as a top lyricist. So when he found out that Prodigy said something about him not to his liking, you know what I'm saying, in a magazine, you know, and he's competitive. So.
Yeah, what happened on this magazine?
Yeah. Basically,
What magazine?
Yeah, this had to be the source.
I forgot what magazine it was.
XXL.
I think it might have been Vibe. It might have been Vibe.
We're trying to be journalists. We're not journalists. We're trying to be journalists.
I forget what magazine it was, but basically, Prodigy said Jay-Z's the B word, like you know what I'm saying. Call him that. You know what I'm saying. Because I believe whoever was interviewing P was like, yo, what you think about, Jay-Z saying New York was soft? He took offense to it because it's like, what? We just did LA. Like,
right.
How could he say that? Like, you know what I mean? So he was like, oh, I don't think he meant it like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's how Jay-Z took it. You know what I'm saying? If he said, oh man, Jay-Z's a whatever word, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And, Jay-Z's competitive. He was like, I mean, this is at everybody's prime, you know what I'm saying? Like, so then he just did that line, and then he just did the Summer Jam shit.
Right.
And we was overseas when we found out about that. And,
right.
That was crazy.
And the internet's not really popular that man. So y'all had to get actual phone calls about that, right?
Right.
Okay.
So we didn't have the internet yet after that. So we did get phone calls about that.
But let me ask a sidebar question. Did Jay-Z respond to anything with the dog pound or anything?
Not that I don't know.
Wait, the dog pound? What do you think?
To the whole thing that happened?
Oh, the LALAs?
Yeah.
No, we the only ones. We just clap for them.
Well, no, but then Royal Flush as well, worldwide.
Yeah, Royal Flush. Yeah.
You produced that?
Yeah, worldwide.
So you got in the beef. You got in it. No, so I'm asking. But did nobody else respond
but
at all?
I didn't really realize because how did that affect their problem? You know what I mean? And did you
between Jay-Z and
like
Dog Pound?
With Jay-Z and Mobb Deep.
And Mobb, yeah.
Right.
Because did you feel like that was a Mobb Deep beef with Jay, or you felt like it's a Prodigy Jay-Z beef? In all honesty.
Because it turned into a Prodigy Jay-Z beef.
I mean, eventually maybe it morphed into that, but the fans don't know the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like the fans ain't picking like, oh yeah, that's what it's a Mobb Deep and Jay-Z beef. And even though we know it's not real beef, now when you finally get around Jay-Z, you feel like it's beef. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just think it was just some competitiveness shit. But you know what I mean? I don't think P meant it like that, but when you talking like that, you know what I'm saying? And it's a competitive sport.
Right.
People going to respond. But I do see Prodigy's point. Like, we was, CNN, Mobb Deep, you know what I'm saying? Trash was the only one that really held New York down, you know what I'm saying, in that moment. And sometimes you could say we didn't get the credit we deserved for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is cool now, of course. Love it. It's beautiful, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is old historic shit.
Yeah, it definitely
some tough times.
No, it was some
tough.
serious shit going down.
It was tough, but then when people started,
and I want to say it didn't register when you said Mobb Deep Jay-Z because I only thought of it as a Prodigy and Jay-Z beat because of what happened in Hot 97.
Fans ain't understand.
Fans don't think of it like that.
That's how I registered it.
Right. You registered as a Prodigy?
Yeah, because of how we know what transpired. With the Hot 97, with the thing, that's how I thought of it. Never thought of it as a Mobb Deep versus Jay-Z.
Because that was like you had to always go through like P. Like I remember we was at SOBs one night, and it's like you always go through with Pete. Did you feel like that? Like I mean, in a funny way. We know our brother's not here, but do you feel like Pete was always starting shit, and it's just like you were just in there by mistake? I got a partner too, so I know. Right? Do you feel like that?
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like that. Like, but
taking strays.
I definitely was catching strays. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you got to be down for your homie like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like, even if I thought he was wrong at any that's in private. I'm still, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk to him and be like, yo, son, like, what the fuck you doing? Like, but in public, I'm like, yeah, nigga, fuck those niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta ride with your niggas. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it.
The truth is, fan perception has ended more business opportunities in hip-hop than the actual beef ever did. And that's the big takeaway from what Havoc just admitted about the Mobb Deep and Jay-Z situation. To me, it shows how powerful the fans really are. Artists might go back and forth lyrically, sometimes just out of competition, But once the fans lock into that energy, it becomes real. And in this industry, perception is everything. If the crowd thinks it's war, then labels, promoters, and executives start moving like it's war too. I don't even think that Jay-Z or Mobb Deep wanted it to turn into a lifelong thing. Havoc himself said Jay-Z respected Prodigy as a lyricist. That tells you right there it wasn't about hate. It was about the competition that drives hip-hop. But once the fans made it bigger than it really was, it stopped being about music and started affecting the money. And that's what really hurt the business side. And that's something I've always noticed about hip-hop history. When fans take sides, they always create divides in the marketplace. A tour that could have made millions doesn't happen. A collaboration that could have shifted culture gets scrapped. Business people don't want to put two acts together if the crowd is going to turn it into chaos. And at the end of the day, that slows everybody's growth. I think Havoc's honesty here is valuable because it reminds younger artists of the bigger picture. Hip-hop is a sport. It's supposed to be competitive, but the fans don't always separate competition from beef. And when they blur that line, the opportunities dry up. We've seen it time and time again. That's why I actually respect Havoc for pointing it out, because he could have brushed it off and blamed somebody else. Instead, he admitted that the way their fans carried it made it hard for Mobb Deep to do business with Jay-Z and Rockefeller. So let me ask y'all this. Do you think fan perception can hurt an artist's career more than the actual beef itself? Let me know y'all thoughts down below in the comment section. And make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.